Hello, thank you for being here. My name's Shannon and this is Lavender Sky. I'm setting up my 2026 bullet journal and talking a little bit about well-being and how these two things come together for me, and maybe for you too. But before we get into that though, I wanted to share some things I recently got in the mail. These are from Paper Trail Plans and I have a set here from Paper Monogatari. In the Paper Trail Plan set, I got a New Beginnings sticker pack and a foraging sticker pack. So let's check these out together. I love this little card included. I'm going to save this. I'm definitely going to use it somewhere, sometime. Keep an eye out for it. These are also a couple of little freebies. I just got a few random sets, sticker packs from Paper Monogatari. Again, I'm just going to keep them for some future setups. I definitely was going for a dark academia theme with this one. Some number stickers will always come in handy. And these are, again, that black cat. Love her. But mostly I wanted to grab this month title set that I'm definitely going to be using in the setup today. Let's light some incense, cleanse this space together, and let's get started. So, let's learn a little bit about me and Lavender Sky. So as I said, my name's Shannon. I'm a counsellor here. I'm in Australia, in Western Australia, near Perth. Let me know if you've ever visited the area or are from here yourself. It's a lovely part of the country. I've really enjoyed living in Perth for the past 5 or 6 years. And I've also recently set up my own private counselling practice, Lavender Sky. It's been a couple of years now, but I moved into focusing on this full-time about a year ago. It was quite the transition. I left the security of a full-time job and full-time wage to just try and build this for myself. It's been really rewarding and really freeing, but I don't know if it's just me. I found it really hard to work for big corporations. It felt like mental health was just a small branch of a much larger business. And maybe those businesses didn't share the same values or have the same compassion for their employees as they wanted us to have to our customers. I don't know, I just really struggled in that space. So yeah, I just decided I wanted to work for myself and be my own boss. Which means I also get to do really fun and out-of-the-box stuff like this. I couldn't imagine doing this whilst working full-time for someone else too. Last year I also started my first bullet journal, and I found this was a really perfect space for my own mental well-being, especially as I moved into my private practice full-time. Oh, it was really helpful getting me through some tough times. Working with my clients, I found that I was encouraging them to be really brave and pursue their dreams. We do a lot of work in helping to break down barriers and build their self-confidence to do whatever they dreamed of. And kind of at the same time, I was thinking, wow, I really love creating my bullet journal spreads. I love the space that this gives myself for my own mental health. I also really loved watching and learning from other journal creators on YouTube. And I thought, maybe I could do something like that and integrate a little bit of mental health in the chat too. So, here I am trying to take my own advice and be brave and learn some new skills and really push my boundaries. I'm absolutely not a professional bullet journaler. This is something that I do for myself. But yeah, I was kind of hoping these videos could be a mix of journaling and mental well-being, bit of therapy chat, talk about some skills that I use for myself and find really helpful, some stuff I do also work with my clients. But I hope this gives you some inspiration for your own mental health, and yeah, maybe you find some bits and pieces that you take away into your own life. So for now, let's just get on with this video, and I hope you enjoy. Here I'm setting up a goals section right at the start of the journal. I feel like this is something that's been really helpful for me to have written down somewhere, something that I can revisit throughout the year. I like to have a 3, a 6, and a 12-month goal in my journal. I definitely have like bigger lifelong goals. I haven't really written them down anywhere yet, so maybe I will. But I feel like this space is something I can come back to and remind myself what I'm actually working on or working towards. And in each month, I can take some small steps that will help me tick these off the list. It's also really nice to look back at the end of the year at what my goals were, what I was hoping to achieve, and just notice or reflect on if I've achieved those. This next spread is my future log. So I think this is pretty typical in most journal setups, but having a space to kind of see the year at a glance. I guess this is just very practical for any like events or anniversaries or important dates. This was just really fun to set up. I haven't done this in this kind of Dutch door style before, but yeah, let's give it a go. Okay, I'm going to make the Dutch door now, so that's going to mean cutting off the tops of this page and the next page so that the months will be able to flip over, and at the top I'll have like the title and heading across all these pages. Also, if you're doing this, just make sure that you leave just a little flap on that page that you cut out so you can stick that down so that you don't damage the integrity of the spine. Just whacked a bit of sticky tape on that. She's good to go. I just reached into my pack of coloured markers there to grab this like reddish brown. I thought it might be a bit of a deeper tone than the brown that I was using, but it almost looks identical, so I won't be using that again. I'm just going to stick with my other brown marker. You know, sometimes you try things and sometimes those things don't work out. That's so fine. And that's my future log. I really, really like how this came together. I loved the Dutch door. I'm going back to the beginning of the book now to create my name page here. I'm kind of just chucking all things on this page and seeing what sticks. But I really like, again, how this came together. I love the frames, I love the doilies, and I love the little flower stickers. Next, I'm creating a little pocket where I'm going to keep my grid spacing guide and journal prompt. This is just the extra page of a journal that I've cut out to keep here as my grid spacing guide, and on the reverse of that I'm going to write down some journal prompts so that I have something I can intentionally reflect on in each month. I feel like this is really helpful for my own kind of personal growth and self-reflection. Then I thought the page behind it looked a bit blah, a bit blank, so I'm just gonna throw some decoration on this as well. These two spreads are going to be some very straightforward kind of pixel trackers for the weather and for my health on the left page. Last year I didn't have either of these two trackers, but I did mostly want to keep track of my health throughout the year and have an annual page to look back on. And I just wanted to add the weather tracker next to it to see, you know, maybe there's a bit of correlation between my physical well-being and the way the weather is outside. Who knows? We'll see. I've just picked a few more colours from a pastel and a neutral pack here for the key. This set I just picked up, I think, from like a local stationery shop. I think it's Officeworks here in Perth. Here are the colours that I chose and their colour numbers. Maybe I'll come back to this throughout the year if I need to grab these colours again. And this one, as I said, is just going to be the health tracker. So the same pixel kind of tracker and a key using the same colours, so I don't have to pull out too many at a time. These next couple of spreads are going to be an expenses and savings tracker on the left, and I'm just creating a little order tracker here on the right. It's very simple. I think it just has date, the store, the order number, and the arrival date. This expenses and savings is again just going to be very simple, just the months down the left-hand column, and I think I'm leaving space for about 4 categories in each that I'm going to track throughout the year. At the top, I'm putting my goals, and at the bottom, I'm going to put my totals for the end of the year. I'm also adding in a little tip in here. This is going to kind of go along with the order tracker, maybe a little bit with the expense tracker here, but on one side I'm going to have shops that I buy from regularly, mostly for stationery and journaling stuff, and on the other side I'm going to have a space for any codes or discounts or things that I can use to get a little bit of money off those shops. So I have somewhere that I can just quickly reference instead of having to look through dozens of places all the time. I'll just have it right here. This year I'm really trying to focus on buying from more small businesses rather than big stationery companies. I just really want to focus on buying from small businesses. In the past, when I first started bullet journaling, I did get a huge order, maybe. I got a lot of stuff from Journal Say simply because it was super cheap and super effective, but it's also a lot of waste and a lot of plastic. So I'm trying to limit my consumption of plastic and be a little bit more intentional with where I'm choosing to buy my stuff from. No shade to people who do order from, those bulk companies. Maybe a little bit of shade, not too much shade. Shade on myself, I guess, too. But, I'm just trying to be better. And yeah, I get to choose where I spend my money, and this is going to help me make better choices. This next spread is just a really fun spread for a media tracker. I did one last year in my bullet journal and it's by far my favorite spread, so I'm trying to create something a little bit similar here. I really loved kind of writing down what I'm into throughout the year, especially for the movies and TV series, for the ones that I kind of come back to year on year, I think Lord of the Rings was something that I watch almost every year. But yeah, this is fun to just look back on and see what I was into, see how long it's been since I've watched something or read something. So this is last year's spread. I just had a lot of fun with creating really nice background and then using some of these cards as the spaces to write my different media titles. So we've got music, books, movies, TV series, games and podcasts. This is the last spread I'll be making for my annual setup. This is going to be a bingo page. I again had a bingo page in last year's journal. I really liked it. I don't know if I got a bingo anywhere, but it was very kind of motivating and it helped keep me inspired if I was thinking of things I wanted to do, especially for like camping or like reading 10 books or hosting a dinner party, those kinds of things. This year I'm doing the layout a little bit different, so I'm numbering each of the squares BINGO across the top and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down the bottom. And then each of the prompts are going to be written on the left-hand page and have a grid space assigned to them. So I can't really like cheat myself into getting a bingo. The grid space allocation is going to be covered up and they're going to be random. So when I finish a prompt, I'll be able to uncover the grid space and then fill in that square. I'm not sure what I'll do to fill in the square. I might write down the prompt, or maybe I could print a little picture of me doing that prompt to make it a little bit more colourful or photographic. But yeah, my prompts are a mix of like personal goals, business goals. I think there's like savings goals in there as well. And a big goal that I have for the year is to move overseas. I don't know if I will accomplish that next year just because of the like logistics of moving internationally, but you know, we'll put it on the bingo list and see if we get bingo. And now I'm just going to create these kind of little tabs by cutting this washi tape into small strips and folding a bit back to cover the grid assignment. So yeah, this is going to be a really fun game to kind of play over the year. It's also a really good way to have like fun, kind of silly goals that you want to work towards and just a bit of motivation to try something new or focus on that goal. And there's my bingo. Now it's time for the final flip through. Let's check it out together. Let me know which page is your favourite. I think for me it's definitely going to be the media page, but I really like how this journal prompts card came together too. Thank you so much for being here for my first video of the year. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. It's definitely been a learning curve and a challenge to create this video, to edit it and upload it, but a challenge that I'm really looking forward to. So if you're wanting to see more journaling and a bit of therapy and wellbeing chat, definitely join me again for the January setup for 2026. I'll be uploading that soon.